सो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल और आई होप आप सब लोग बहुत बढ़िया होंगे। आज हमारा टॉपिक है एल्गी। ओके, सो इन दिस वीडियो वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू हैव इंट्रोडक्शन फॉर आवर टॉपिक विच इज एल्गी। सो लेट्स बिगिन। सबसे पहले हम समझते हैं व्हाट डज द टर्म एल्गी मीन। See, these are the chlorophyll bearing simple thalloid autotrophic and largely aquatic. In aquatic, they can be both either fresh or marine organism. Okay, so आप लोग को remember होगा जो 5 kingdom classification था हमारा। अच्छा, लेट्स टेल मी, जो 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन था वो किसने दिया था? ओके, सो जो एल्गी थी, क्या उसको हमने एक डिफरेंट प्लेस दी थी 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन में? ये सब हम पढ़ चुके हैं, इट्स जस्ट पार्ट ऑफ रिवीजन। सो इसका आंसर आप लोग मुझे बताइए। ठीक है, तो हमने एल्गी के बारे में पढ़ा। जो ये एल्गी हैं, दीज आर द क्लोरोफिल बियरिंग, meaning they have the chlorophyll pigment. Okay, so if the term chlorophyll came, so what do you understand by this term? Meaning they are definitely autotrophic. They are autotrophic in nature. Okay, they are simple, meaning they are not bearing any roots, leaves, shoot like the plant, which is differentiated. Simple thalloid. Okay, autotrophic we have already discussed, and largely aquatic. Okay, in aquatic they could be either freshwater or they are marine organism. So this was about algae. Now we will understand the general characteristic of the algae. Okay, so what are the characteristics of the algae? See, before dividing into specific classes, okay, the algae is divided into 3 classes which we will study further. So before dividing the specific classes, here is what makes the organism algal. So what makes the organism algal? What are the characteristics? Let's understand. See, these are thalloid. What does the term thalloid here mean? Meaning their body is not differentiated into true roots, stems or leaves. Okay, the thalloid means the body of the any organism or the body about which we are studying, that is the algae, is not differentiated into true roots, stem or leaves. So what is the habitat? They are mostly aquatic. It has been found that most of the algae are aquatic, but also found on moist stones, soils, wood, apart from aquatic habitat. Some even live in association with fungi. Okay, some algae live in association with fungi, and this is known as lichen. It is a relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, apart from there are certain algae which are also found over the animal surface. Some algae are found on the sloth bear. Now we have studied about structure. They are in thalloid nature, habitat mostly aquatic, but apart from they are also found in such habitat. Now what is the size and form? See, the size is highly variable, ranging from microscopic unicellular like Chlamydomonas to the colonial form. The volvox exist in the colony form like this, and each colonies are interconnected. Colonial form like volvox, and the filamentous form like Spirogyra like this. Okay, Spirogyra filamentous form, and the large marine form like kelps. Okay, so the size and the form of the algae is highly variable. It is not static. Okay, there it ranges. understand about the mode of reproduction. What are the mode of reproduction by which the algae reproduce? Firstly, vegetative. Okay, mainly by fragmentation. Okay, what is the fragmentation? This all mode of reproduction related to vegetative, asexual and sexual we have already discussed in our previous video, so please watch them. So reproduction in vegetative mode, it generally occur by fragmentation. Here each fragment which have been broken down, the fragment of the parent body, the fragment which have been generated from the parent body develop into a thallus. Okay, now asexual. The asexual reproduction in algae take place by various types of spores. The mostly of them are zoospores. See, there are two types, zoospores and aplanospores. Okay, the zoospores are flagellated and motile. If they are motile, definitely they are going to have a flagella, but aplanospores are non-motile in nature. Point to remember. Okay, zoospores are motile while aplanospores are non-motile. Now sexual. As we know, during the sexual reproduction there is a fusion of the two gametes. Okay, now here in sexual reproduction it can be of three types: isogamous, anisogamous, or the oogamous. See, isogamous, iso meaning the gametes which are going to fuse with each other are of similar size. Okay, anisogamous meaning the two gametes which are going to fuse are dissimilar in size. The gametes in which the algae in which isogamous reproduction can be seen are Eulothrix and Spirogyra, and the algae which shows the anisogamous is Eudorina. Now oogamous. We have discussed about isogamous and isogamous. Now we will understand about oogamous. See, fusion between one large non-motile. The gamete which is large is non-motile and static, which is the female gamete definitely, and the smaller motile male gamete. Okay, when the fusion is between the one large non-motile gamete and the another which is a small motile male gamete. So oogamous reproduction can be seen in volvox and fucus. So this was about the general characteristics. In general characteristics we have understand about the reproduction. Okay, now we'll understand about the classification of the algae. See, the algae have been classified into three main classes, and the basis of their classification is the pigment, and the main basis of classification is the pigment and the stored food, the reserved food which the algae stored. So first is Chlorophyceae. Chloro, something related to chlorophyll, green, as the name suggests. Okay, so Chlorophyceae, these are the green algae. Okay, they are generally grass green due to the pigment chlorophyll A and B. Here in Chlorophyceae, the chlorophyll pigment A and B are the dominant pigment. Okay, so chloroplast. In Chlorophyceae, the shape of the chloroplast can be discoid, plate-like, reticulate, cup-shaped, spiral, or even ribbon-shaped. Okay, what is the role of chloroplast? They keep the chlorophyll. The green pigment is present in the chloroplast, and the shape of the chloroplast can be vary from discoid, plate-like, reticulate, cup-shaped, spiral, or even ribbon-shaped. So this was about chloroplast of the Chlorophyceae. Now the storage. What is the stored food in Chlorophyceae? See, most have one or more storage bodies. These are called pyronoid. Please remember this point. Most important. See, they have storage body which are known as pyronoids, and these are located in the chloroplast. Where the pyronoids are present? These are present in the chloroplast. Okay, and these bodies which are present in the chloroplast contain protein. ठीक है, inside pyridinoid the protein is present instead of starch. Generally plants store food in the form of starch na. We know the plant stores food in the form of starch, animals stored it in the form of glycogen. Okay, pyridinoids stores the protein beside the starch. Remember this point. The pyrenoid's body never stores the starch. Instead of starch, there is presence of protein. These pyrenoids are located in the chloroplast. Apart from pyrenoids, some of the algae Chlorophyceae members store the food in the form of oil droplets. Okay, now we'll understand about the cell wall. The composition of their cell wall. It is rigid and the inner layer is made up of cellulose while the outer layer is made up of pectose. The inner layer is composed of cellulose and outer layer is composed of pectose. Example of Chlorophyceae member are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Eulothrix, Spirogyra and Cara. Now the second class is Phaeophyceae. These are the brown algae. These algae are generally found in marine habitats. Okay, the brown algae generally found in marine habitats, and they vary and they are diversified in their size, from simple branched filaments from ectocarpus to profusely branched form. The giant, it is also known as giant kelps due to its very huge size. Okay, so from the simple branched filaments to highly branched form, which is the calps, it can reach up to 100 meters. Now we'll understand about the pigment. What are the pigments which are found in the Chlorophyceae member? They generally have chlorophyll A and C. As we have discussed earlier, the Chlorophyceae member have chlorophyll A and B. The Phaeophyceae member have chlorophyll A and C. Here the A is common, only this B and C are exchanged. Apart from chlorophyll, they are also having the carotenoid and one of the most important, the xanthophyll, especially the fucoxanthin, which gives them the brown color. So in green algae, we are getting the green color due to the presence of which pigment? Chlorophyll, which is chlorophyll B. And Phaeophyceae, these are the brown algae, and the brown color is generally due to the presence of the pigment fucoxanthin. Okay, now the food storage. See, they stored the food as a complex carbohydrate. Remember this, most important. Okay, complex carbohydrate, these are laminarin and mannitol. Now the body structure. See, these algae are generally attached to the substratum. The substratum is the surface over which the algae grow. ठीक है, substratum का मतलब होता है कि it can be either rock, soil, bark of a tree, wood or anything. ठीक है, so the body is usually attached to the substratum with the help of holdfast. Remember this, okay? With the help of holdfast and the stalk, stipe and the leaf-like photosynthetic organ frond. So let's understand like this. See, if this is your algae, okay? This is your some like laminaria, okay, which is a brown algae, okay? So this is your holdfast. Okay, this is your stipe, okay, and this leaf like structure, these are your frond. Okay, so with the help of holdfast, they are attached to the substratum and the stalk which is known as the stipe between the holdfast and the frond, and the frond are the actual leaf like photosynthetic organ. Now the cell wall. As we have discussed, the cell wall of Chlorophyceae member is made up of cellulose and pectose. Pectose is present in the outer layer while the inner layer is composed of cellulose. Here the cell wall is composed of cellulose, okay, and on the outside by a gelatinous coating of algae. There is no differentiation between the inner and outer layer. They are entirely composed of cellulosic wall, but apart from that they have the outside coating of gelatinous, which is known as algae. Okay, outside they have algae coating, and the example is Ectocarpus, Laminaria, Sargassum, Fucus. Another class is Rhodophyceae. These are the red algae. Okay, so now let's begin. They are also found in marine habitat. Generally, they are found in warmer areas. Okay, and these are found in more deeper in the ocean than the other two which have been discussed earlier. Okay, they are found in warmer areas. They also occur in well-lit region close to the water surface and also at the great depth. Okay, also occurring the region which are close to the water surface and also the great depth in the ocean. Which are present in the Rhodophyceae member are chlorophyll A and D. In Chlorophyceae member, we have discussed they have chlorophyll A and B. Then Phaeophyceae member were having A and C. Now they are having A and D, the Rhodophyceae member. Okay, and the one of the red pigment which is responsible for the red coloration is R-phycoerythrin. Important. What is the pigment which is responsible for the brown color? That was fucoxanthin. Okay, and here the pigment which is responsible for the red coloration is R-phycoerythrin. Now the food storage. They stored food in the form of Floridian starch. Most important point to be remember. Okay, so storage food is Floridian starch. The Floridian starch is structurally very similar to amylopectin and glycogen. Okay, the structure of Floridian starch is very similar to glycogen and amylopectin. Now the reproduction. See, they reproduce vegetatively by fragmentation as we have discussed earlier and sexually by non-motile gametes. The gametes of Rhodophyceae is non-motile. Okay, oogamous. Example are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Gelatin. So this was all about the classification of the algae. The algae have divided into the three classes: the Chlorophyceae, green algae, Phaeophyceae, brown algae, Rhodophyceae, the red algae. ओके, तो इन सब की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के बारे में हमने डिस्कस कर लिया। अब हम पढ़ेंगे इकोनॉमिक इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ एल्गी। फर्स्ट, कार्बन फिक्सेशन, एज दे हैव द पिगमेंट chlorophyll, they can fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So total CO2 fixation on the earth is carried out by at least half of the total carbon dioxide fixation on the earth is carried out by algae by the process photosynthesis. हमने इसके बारे में already discuss कर लिया है, so you must watch the previous videos. Now the food sources. Apart from carbon fixation, the algae also serves as a food sources. There are many species of algae such as Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum. These are the species, and apart from them there are also 70 species of marine algae that are used as a food in various Asian countries, and apart from Asians, many countries worldwide such as in Japan. Okay, these all are used as a source of food. Apart from food source, they are also act as hydrocolloids. See, certain marine brown and red algae produces water holding substances like algin. हमने देखा था जो एल्जिन कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट था, जो फियोफाइसी थी उनकी जो सेल वॉल की आउटर कोटिंग पे, The cell wall outer surface is covered up by the algae and brown algae. So there are algae which produces water holding substances. Algae, they have the ability to hold water. Okay, and carrageen, which is produced by the red algae. Please remember this. Algae is produced by brown algae and carrageen is produced by the red algae. These are used commercially due to their ability of holding water. Important is agar. See, agar is obtained from Gelidium and Glycilleria. These are red algae. अभी ही डिस्कस किया था हमने. Okay, so it is obtained from Gelidium and Glycilleria, and the role of agar is it is used to grow microbes in laboratory, and apart from that it is also used in the preparation of ice cream jellies. Okay, agar थोड़ा सा थिकनिंग में हेल्प करता है जब हम इसे इंडस्ट्रियल में फूड इंडस्ट्रीज में देखते हैं तब. ठीक है, आइसक्रीम्स और जेलीज की प्रिपरेशन में. और अगर लेबोरेटरी वर्क में अगर हम देखें तो इट हेल्प इन द ग्रोइंग द माइक्रोब्स. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट देयर इज अ स्पीशीज Chlorella, which is a unicellular alga. It is highly rich in protein, and it is used as a food supplement by the space traveler, as the space traveler cannot consume any food directly or any kind of the food. There is one of the species of unicellular alga which is known as the Chlorella is consumed by the space travelers. One of the most important. Okay, remember this term, Chlorella and algae and carrageen. So this was all about just introduction of the algae. In next further videos we are going to study in deep details and cover the entire algae topic fully. So thank you for watching and join the Telegram channel for the notes.